Hello there. I'm back. Thank you. You can hold the applause until the end of the video. Today I'm showing off a brand new project. As even someone of your intellect has probably figured out, the title of this project is Industrial Playground. This is a concept I've been toying with for quite a while. The premise of this project is to create a theme park which appears to have been built from the remnants of a defunct industrial facility. One of the primary sources of inspiration for this build is the Duisburg Nordlandschaft Park, in the Dusseldorf region of Germany. Please excuse my Deutsch pronunciation, I am only programmed for English. The Landschaft Park is a complex of abandoned coal and steel production works which have been converted into public parklands set amongst the preserved industrial structures. The Landschaft Park uses the industrial structures to great effect, creating many interesting interactions between pathways and buildings. I intend to further capitalize by using the industrial features for interaction with roller coaster tracks. At night, the structures are illuminated by a vibrant multicolored lights display, creating a surreal ambience which borders on alien, which I hope to evoke in the design of this park. Now, to get back to what's happening on screen. Entry to the park is through 3 tunnels made from prefabricated sections of large diameter concrete piping, as might be found at a construction site. The entrance opens up to a circular plaza which will ultimately form the main street area. A key visual feature of the main street will be this monorail bridge. Initially I wanted to place the station of the monorail directly over the main thoroughfare, but found that I couldn't position the entrance and exit in a way which would allow the access paths to be placed cleanly. If you're familiar with the Transport Tycoon games, the design of this bridge is based on the style of the tubular steel bridge type available in the games from around the year 2000. If you're not familiar with the games, the previous factoid is still true, just probably less interesting to you. Next, I import into roller coaster designs which I have been developing with this park in mind. You won't get to see the process of constructing the layouts, but you will get to see them in closer detail a little later when I work on the accompanying scenery. Both coasters will be heavily themed, with extensive scenery interaction, dark ride effects and some custom support work. The first coaster is a custom Intamin accelerator which will form the centerpiece of a zone of the park called the Gasworks. This area will be based on the theme of an oil and gas refinery facility. Key scenery pieces will include pipelines, high-pressure tankage and smokestacks. The second roller coaster in the back half of the park is a custom B&M Giga coaster, named Captain of Industry. More on that one later. The park will feature a monorail running around its border, interacting with scenery in each zone of the park. Work on this park was started before the 4th beta update, so this park is still confined to the smaller land area of earlier versions. I'm not particularly concerned. The available land area will be sufficient for what I want to achieve with this park. Here, I'm working on a cylindrical gas storage tank which will be used in the motif for the Gasworks section. I attempted something similar back in my very first Planet Coaster project, Surge, back in Alpha 2.3. The art primitive scenery set greatly increases the range of possibilities for 3D shapes which can be created, so it is now possible to create a cylindrical tank with hemispherical top and bottom surfaces. The 4th beta update included a small but extremely useful change to the scenery placement system. Selections of non-grid locked scenery objects can now be moved with the advanced move tool, including rotation in all 3 axes. Mirroring the top hemisphere of the tank to create the bottom hemisphere required me to mess around with blueprints and different buildings, but after the 4th beta update this can be done within one building using only duplicate and advanced move. Any phallic symbolism inferred from the design of this pressure vessel is purely the responsibility of the viewer. Get your mind out of the gutter. What a pretty photograph. A set of 3 gas tanks will accompany the brake run. Some additional connecting pipe work will be added later. Ultimately, I plan to make this area into an improbably complicated tangle of pipes of mysterious function. This next structure is a building featuring 2 smokestacks which will form part of a custom support structure for the modified top hat element of the coaster. The style of the building is loosely based on the gas power plant from SimCity 4. As you can see in the background, the crest of the top hat element is banked by 90 degrees so that the track stays parallel to a vertical plane. I'm calling this element a Cubism turn, as it is derived from elements used in my Cubism coaster series. Another unconventional element featured in the layout is something I'm calling an unrolled dive loop. It is similar to a B&M inclined dive loop, but with the track banking rotated to the point where inversion never occurs. It's similar to the high-speed twist and dive element from Intamin's proposed mega coaster for Energylandia. Next, some work on the custom support structure for the top hat element. The structure will have 2 parts, a space frame connecting the track to the smokestacks, and a freestanding tubular steel tower providing support to the inside of the track. Let's talk about what I have planned for the launch section of the coaster. It's no accident that the coaster in the gasworks section of the park has a hydraulic launch. It's as close as I can get to a gas-propelled coaster with the types in the game, and I'm going to take advantage by incorporating the launch mechanism into the theming of the ride. The hydraulic accumulators will be prominently displayed near the launch area, with high-pressure pipelines running up the side of the launch section. These will form part of an elaborate pyrotechnic display triggered by the coaster launch, the exact details of which I am keeping a secret. Exciting, don't you think? Well, that's about all I have to say for this episode. Stay tuned until the end for some real-time shots, as well as some concept art I put together for the park. The real-time part starts at 12 minutes 11, and the concept art is at 12 minutes 45. Though of course I will judge you harshly depending on whether or not you choose to skip ahead, but of course you know how that goes. It's not as if I'll be the only one to ever have totally lost any shred of respect for you in the space of seconds. Though at least you're fully dressed this time. Or, at least I sincerely hope you're fully dressed this time. Here comes the real-time part. 3, 2, 1. Industrial Playground. An industrial theme park for industrial people. Coming soon to a planet near you. Look, new channel art. Isn't it impressive? Now that's a channel you should consider subscribing to if I've ever seen one.